Hello and welcome to my cooking show. In today's episode we're going to make boiled peanuts. What you do is you have a large pot and you add a bag of raw peanuts to it. It says raw peanuts on the bag, and a bunch of water. Now boiled peanuts take about 8 to 10 hours of slow cooking to make, so this is not something you plan to eat right away, okay? You see here that I have a black frying pan to the right where I just made an egg earlier. It's probably best to cook the peanuts overnight anyway. Now I already had some water in this pot, so you're going to want to pour a little more than what you saw me pouring here. You want to add a bunch of salt, not too much. One time I added half the container of salt and that was way too much. But still, you want to add a good amount. These are supposed to be pretty salty. You get something to stir it with and you stir it occasionally. I have it set at high. And we just have it high for about a half hour, okay? And then we're gonna turn it down to like medium, maybe even medium low for the rest of the time, okay? Or somewhere in between there. But about 20 minutes after lowering the heat, we're gonna add some other ingredients. We're gonna put some peppers, and you can actually add some hot sauce too if you want, make it a little more spicy. And we're also gonna add some magic gravy that I have here in this apple juice bottle. Don't worry, I'll tell you what the ingredients are later. And don't worry about those peppers, you don't have to cut them up. They're gonna fall apart by themselves as this slow cooks. Raw peanuts are a southern favorite. We learned about raw peanuts when we went to Georgia. They're very popular there in the mountains of Georgia, and always remember that this recipe comes from there. Okay, we're taking a look now. It's a little later. These have been cooking now for at least a couple hours, and they're starting to look pretty good. If you were to try to eat it now, they would still be pretty raw. You don't want to eat them yet. You got to let these cook thoroughly. Alright, these have been cooking for about 8 hours. You want to cook them about 8 or 10 hours. You don't want to overcook them or they'll get mushy. But the texture of the peanut will be like sort of like a bean inside. Very tasty bean. They're not going to be hard anymore. And look at that delicious sauce. So you wanted to know what the magic gravy was. Well, what it was last time's leftover stuff. You always store the gravy when you're done eating the peanuts and use it next time. Don't throw that away. That's delicious, delicious gravy consisting of the natural oils that came from the peanuts. It's got the peppers, all the salt, the spices you added. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't throw that out. Each time you save it and reuse it, it gets better and better and better and better. So obviously the first time you make your boiled peanuts, you're not going to have that gravy. So your first time is going to be a little bit not as tasty. They'll still be delicious, but not quite as delicious. And then the second time you make them, they'll be a lot better. Third time, even better. And so you save your gravy. Now I'm using an apple juice bottle for me, but you can use whatever you want. Use a funnel if you need to. Save that gravy. It's very good, and you can actually use it for gravy on your potatoes or whatever. It's very, very delicious. Okay, I'm gonna take these out. You know, you take them out with your spoon, the kind with the holes, let it drip out, and we're gonna put these on a little dish and try them out. I mean, these are just delicious. When you eat these, you just crack open the shell like you would a normal peanut, and you eat the inside just like normal, except that the inside is going to be a lot better. And it's a little more messy to eat it this way than just having them hard or raw, whatever, of course, but a lot better. So have your napkin ready. This makes a delicious treat. If you're somebody who doesn't like messy foods, you probably don't want to eat this, on your first date or whatever, but yeah, these are delicious. Wow. Yum. These are just wonderful.